baby's home. Cairo, Cairo is my baby's home. One bite Cairo now won't be long. Women in Cairo, they will treat you kind and sweet. Women in Cairo, they will treat you kind and sweet. Catch you around and take you off your feet. Shoot you, knock you, teach you and cut you too. Shoot you and knock you, teach you and cut you too. They get through the graveyard, then for you. Women in Cairo send you down to your grave.
Yeah, we're in tune. That's great. Hi everyone, welcome. Welcome to another episode, number 67 or 68, I don't remember now, of the live stream dedicated to early traditional music like blues, country, hillbilly, some ragtime, maybe some early jazz, stuff I like. Good. So let's see. Family comes first, as always, but now they came first. Hi, son. Merry Monday. Patrick, don't tell me you are supposed to stay this evening. Not so busy? I'd love to have you while we're live. Hello from Wantage in the UK. Wonderful little town where I used to have a workshop, right, for the Blues Association. Great. Actually, Graham, I was thinking about you today while I was preparing these kind of last moments of what I'm going to be talking about in the script for the live stream. So it's going to be about jamming situations and talking about jamming and Blues Week and those large jam situations. We got things to talk about, right? Yeah, good. All right, so what's on the agenda for today? First, we're going to do the live blues backup, as usual. one, maybe 2 rounds of any kind of backup that I come up with. I always improvise. So the first one is going to be in E, but I don't really know how it's going to sound and how I'm going to put the groove to it. So yeah, let's see. Second thing we're going to be talking about is going to be this with summer guitar inspiration, both about playing, musicianship, how to participate in jam sessions, how to do things, and just out of my experience of both running loads of workshops and jamming since I was like, I don't know, 16, 17. You know, as far as I can remember, I could hold the guitar. I was jamming and playing with other people and all that. The second one is going to be my guitar pedal by JamitFX from Slovenia. An amazing little boutique pedal that's handmade from scratch. Just a wonderful little piece of wax. Actually, I'm going to start with that after the blues back up, and then we'll go to the summer inspiration. And after that, it's going to be EGC, or every gig carry, presentation of a new bag, and then we're done. Q&A, whatever you want to ask, you're more than welcome to write in the chat. So, oh, Geir is here. Norwegian attack, as usual. I'm happy to have you here as well. I'm happy to have everybody around in the live stream. That's great. Something special about that. Replays are great, but now, well, I'm playing and I know that there are people on the other side. That's great. So, if you're on Facebook, don't forget housekeeping. Your audio experience and enjoyment will be much greater if you have headphones. And especially if you're on a computer, then it's going to be even better, both audio and video wise. Good. Live blues backups. What else? We're going to do regular blues in E. All right, now you're seeing my keyboard, which I don't want you to do because it's in the way for the guitar. Now we're talking. So, E, standard tuning, let's go. And before I start, I have to say hello to Tech Troublemaker, Roy, my buddy, hello. So, slow blues in E. All right, let me just check one thing. I think it's gonna be better this way. Yes. I'm gonna decrease the light on one of the cameras so they can. Yeah. Good. So this was a basic blues accompaniment in E. What I did here that was a little bit different from before was that I put in this. I just went to the B7, but I went down to the B, lowered B. It's called BB. B flat 7 and B7. So it's where the D string is open, the fourth string is open, but I'm kind of almost grabbing it here behind the little nut, just to preserve this. And it's a wonderful, wonderful sounding lick that I've actually learned stole from John Miller, who was a guest on my live stream at some point during I think the fall, or in the beginning of this year. And John is a great role model, and I really look up to him. So he's got those small chops that are just like, jewels when he's playing accompaniment to somebody else and all that. So I kind of stole that from him. So kudos to John. Then I also have this lick when you go to B. This combination is between the third and the fifth string, so it's like a D7 here, or E7. But here, I'm actually playing the chord of EA with the third on the fifth string, but I'm only picking fifth, third, and the first string open. That's just like a drone string. And then I have so what's happening between the fifth and third string is and this is exactly how I practiced this to master it. And then I added the bass and so on. But the first part is always just the easiest part. This is like third fret of the fifth string, an open third string, and then I grab the E chord. That was that. And then we had this which is an old Jimmy Rogers lick. This can be used as an intro, as a kind of lick in between chords, and it's just a great lick. Good, that was it. So let's do a little bit of improvisation in open D. So if you got that at hand, that would be great. How are you guys doing? All fine? So, that was that. So remember this lick, because that's coming back in the end of the live stream. The pattern, the groove of this goes like this. Yep, that's what I could come up with like no notice at all. It's like, okay, let's do something in open D. And I love these situations. It's challenging, it's great, it's lovely, and I've come up with some things that I'm going to remember, go back to this, and develop them a bit further. One of the things that I'd like to explain, because I actually haven't done this before, so it's this. This is a part of a average kind of shuffle in open D, which we've kind of covered before. But when you put it into another groove, when you put it into another kind of dimension of a sound and another kind of rhythm, then it goes. If I play this powerfully and loud and on a big PA, you would find this maybe a rocky thing, right? But if you do it like this, and we add some little percussive stuff and play it kind of smooth, softly, but still determined. That's the most important thing. No matter what you play, it can really, really be simple. And this, you know, with a measurement from, you know, greatest masters, whatever, this is very simple, right? So the most of what's great about this is just the groove and the syncopation and kind of waiting for the next thing. That's one way to do it. Then you can do it. Change, right? So there are several ways to play this lick, and I kind of did that in this little improvisation. And then I've also used the it's a part of that's right. It's one of the licks that I kind of use to go from A to G. So this lick explain. So it's 3rd fret on the 1st string, open string, 2nd, open, and then this lick from the 1st fret on the 3rd string, and then 4th string on the 3rd fret, and just a little bend. This is also part of a it comes in many blues grooves by many old masters and modern players, and actually, to be honest, I've heard this lick most kind of concrete played by Roy Rogers, a guy from the States who used to accompany John Lee Hooker, and he produced his comeback kind of revival LP in the 90s, Healer, right? And Roy is a character. He's a great musician, fantastic slide player and picker, and he used to play with Norton Buffalo, harmonica player, and I've listened to them quite a lot in the late 80s, beginning 90s and all that. And then all of a sudden we share the stage on a jazz or blues festival in the town where I live. So it's like, okay, here's Roy. That was great. Yeah, really great guy. So that's what I had to do in open D. Right. Great. So today's theme, the pedal board, right? Which I've showed you before, and we're kind of going from pedal to pedal. Last week we had the B9 organ pedal or emulator pedal, and that's great. And one crazy thing is that I can't show you the rest of the stuff because I got my iPhone kind of focused on the actual pedal for today, so I can only show you that pedal. And yeah, that's the limitation of the systems I'm using and everything. But it's going to be great. And as far as I can see, yeah, it just moved a little bit, but we'll manage. We'll fix it. Good. So, pedalboard. It's called Got Blues Overdrive Pedal. Got Blues made by JamitFX. JamitFX from Slovenia. It's actually a one-guy company, and he's got a couple of kind of colleagues that are helping him out, and they're doing lots of stuff like repairing amps, old vintage pedals, whatever. I mean, if there's anything about a pedal I need to ask, or any pedal, you know, it's Jalan from Slovenia, from Jamit, that I can ask. And he actually made my power supply unit. He made my pedal called Got Blues, and also a phase boost, a little, very simple but amazing little booster pedal, which the only task it has is to raise the volume a notch. And I know exactly that he set it up for 35 decibel, so that I know that when I crank it up, it's going to go all the way up to 35 if I want it. But there's a little control knob that I can adjust this so that it gets smooth when used, right? Let me grab that pedal for you. Yeah. There it is. Here we go. The other way around. So it's called Phase Boost. Wonderful, wonderful little pedal. And it's not in my pedal board because I don't have enough space. But as soon as I have a kind of gig with a band, or I know that I'm going to be ending up in a situation where I'm not maybe controlling the whole sound, everything that's happening on the stage, that's the best way to kind of have something out there as a reserve solution, which means if everybody's playing very loud, and I really need to kind of play louder than other people and have that to use. But otherwise, it's just I use my pedal board with only a couple of pedals, and that's it. So this is the pedal. Let me just adjust this for a second, just a little bit. Right. So what you see here is a pedal called the Got Blues, and that's an overdrive pedal, which means that it's there's this discussion that's been going on for ages, and it's all about, okay, what's overdrive, what's distortion? Distortion is more modulated signal. It's tougher, rougher than overdrive. Overdrive can be very smooth, and that's where this pedal shines, because there are many fantastic overdrive pedals that have sometimes no controls at all, but the volume knob, sometimes they have lots of knobs and controls and switchers and everything. But I kind of read on their old website, and I said, this could be something for me. And the most important thing with this pedal was that, if you see here, this is the level of the pedal that's going out when you have connected your guitar to the side of the pedal up here. So this is goes into the gain, where you determine how much of the signal you want to emphasize before you send it further on into the pedal. And then you determine the output level of that, which means these two are determining how much distortion is going to be, or overdrive it's going to be. So I'm going to be showing you that right away. This in the middle looks like a switch, but it's not. It's a lamp, just indicator of if it's on or not. But down here, that's where the magic happens. Not many overdrive pedals have this control over basses and trebles. Usually when you play electric guitar and you use overdrive, it doesn't matter that you maybe lose a little bit of basses. Usually an overdrive means that you're going to lose a couple of not decibels, but the sound color is going to be less bassy. If you had a lot of bass, you're going to have less bass in your sound when you engage an overdrive pedal. Maybe there are overdrive pedals that are boutique and handmade up to that level that they maybe have an automatic circuit that says, okay, when you increase the volume or input gain, then we're going to add some of bass frequencies into that. I don't know. I'm not an engineer. Got no clue how that's done. But on this pedal, there is a bass and treble control, which are amazing in my case because I play acoustic. And most of the time, I would use a slight, very moderate overdrive signal in my sound, especially when I play with somebody else. Then it can be really nice. I'm going to demonstrate for you guys how I can maybe sometimes use the overdriven signal just as that, but then I could add some tremolo maybe or reverb, and to have this kind of groovy things that you can play behind somebody else. So it's maybe just playing a plain acoustic guitar out there singing, accompanying with major chords and all that, and then you need to do something behind that's a bit different, right? Especially if I want to use some slide and all that, right? So, and this little switch down here, it says boost or drive. So the boost, when it comes up here, the boost, that's, if I remember well, Yalan told me about this in the beginning, but I couldn't find that information anymore on the web. I think it's a warmer boost of the sound. It's almost like Dumble amplifiers where you have this kind of smooth tube overdrive effect as soon as you kind of increase the volume. So that's that knob. When it goes to the down position, which is for drive, that's a bit rougher sound. So we'll start with the smooth sound, and I'll start with all controls in the middle. That's usually the best way to start with any pedal that's got knobs or whatever. Just put everything in the middle and try from there. It's the same with the PA systems, mixer boards, and just put everything straight up 12 o'clock and start from there. And it's always better to take away things than to add things. When you add frequencies, volumes, or whatever, it should always be in the service of the better sound. And whatever you give too much of, it's going to be too much in the end. So it needs to be with a good measure of how to do things. So I'll start with just my acoustic guitar, and then we'll plug in the metal guitar, which has got a pickup, and then I'll plug in my Silvertone, which has got this old-timey de-armand jazz pickup from the 50s, which is it's a beast, and it's a dangerous thing to use with the overdrive pedal. But let's see how that all sounds. Let me know in the chat if you guys have questions or you want me to demonstrate something else apart from what I'm going to be showing you now. But we gotta go fast because time is already 21:35 here locally. That's great. Oh, here's my good old friend from Tanglewood, guitarist Shay Ryder. Hi Shay, great to see you. Shay's also a mean guitar player and performer. Good. Albert, wonderful to see you. I'm on. This, what Albert is writing here. Sorry for being so late. Glad to see that you're on. I was watching my friend David Hunt's live stream today, and he was on fire. He was playing piano, and he was playing some wonderful, fantastic songs. And then he just burst into a fantastic version of Redemption song by Bob Marley, and you wouldn't believe how well he played that. And it's got nothing to do with just playing a cover of something. There was so wonderful arrangements in there. I was just like, I said, okay, I'm canceling my live stream tonight. I'm not going to do it after this. Who's going to be playing after? But okay, of course I have to do this because I love it. Right, in with a cable. Good. So what I'm going to be doing now is that I'm going to block those two microphones. So this is an acoustic guitar, right? So off with that. And then we're having the amplified sound. Good, good, good. So maybe I'll just add a little bit of input gain, but no, yeah, I don't know. 1 dB, okay. So this is just the pure sound coming from my guitar through the pickup, which is, the volume is 200%. And what I'm going to be playing is just going through the pedal as it is on everything on 12 o'clock, and nothing else on my pedal board is engaged. It's only that, right? Good. And then we'll add a little bit of reverb, maybe tremolo, and then we'll fool around with the controls on the pedal, right? Yeah, that's it. So compared to the sound without the pedal, hey, what happened now? I lost the signal. What's going on, guys? Oh, sorry, I pressed the wrong button. Amateur. So now we're going to be pressing the pedal, and you hear this added noise. That's a drawback, and that's something we have to live with when it comes to overdrive pedals. There are very, very few overdrive pedals that are totally quiet when you engage them. It's really not possible. At the same time, sometimes the added noise can be the result of a ground loop, that maybe you're not in the right phase with your pedal board when it comes to maybe lighting on the scene. Maybe now this is somehow colliding with the light setup that I have here, because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, around 10 lights on, and most of them are through the outlet, right? So ooh, we are overdriving. Hey, what's so this is too much of everything, right? So let's dial down the gain, and I will compensate with a volume of that. So we give it just a little push on the gain, but then we have to compensate with the volume to get the same audio level that we had before. Ooh, it's boosted. Yeah, I mean, I can hear that, but at the same time, you see how smooth the controls are here? Just listen to this. Usually on the volume knobs, the last couple of millimeters are not adding too much. Everything is happening around 3, 4 o'clock. That's basically where you reach the maximum, right? So let's leave it there. And now compared to the sound without a pedal, now with. So I see, okay, a little bit too much of everything, so I'll maybe lower it a little bit. But then, this sound has less bass than before. So I'm going to add a little bit here. Actually, playing chords like this, there is no need for overdrive, because it's just I mean, I could play this acoustically. Nothing needs to be kind of pushed or whatever. But if I would get into a groove of some kind, maybe to play like a... So I kind of played a little bit harder with my picking hand, and I just realized, okay, that's too much treble, so let's lower the treble on this. Yeah, 9 o'clock, somewhere there. And I love this sound. So without the pedal, now with, it's a bit harsh, it's a bit dry, it's I mean, I haven't engaged the reverb, because in these situations you will need a reverb or some kind of effect around it. But let's say I could just lower the volume, decrease the gain even more, and then I'll get this is cool. This is like, yeah, all right, all I need here is a bit of reverb, so let's press that. I'm giving it a little bit, or a bit of too much of the reverb, just to be kind of more emphasized. So because I'm not really sure how this translates all over internet and going in a bit compressed form already. So I don't know. I think just this reverb is maybe 20% more than I'd have it in a real situation. So it's like, yeah, okay. Now, let's see the difference between this boosted sound and the overdriven. So everything is the same, all controls are the same. That compared to so the other, this has a bit even more bass in my earphones anyway. Cool. Now, if we add some slide. Long distance call, yeah, a kind of a emulated intro that he used to play. That was with a metal slide. Let's see if a glass slide would sound a bit smoother in this one. Now the same thing without this pedal. And so on. So it is a little bit less prominent, and it's a bit thinner, the whole sound and everything, of course. But there are purists or people who would say it's better with just acoustic guitar, just screw the pedal. Okay, but let's go on. Let's move on. So if I have this pedal, and watch this now, I'm going to engage the tremolo effect on the guitar, which I didn't tinker too much with. It's like a, let me see what rhythm is. Oh yeah. I love this. this. This sounds really good. Actually, I just kind of turn it on and just turn the knobs a couple of notches and just like I've decided on how fast the tremolo is going to be. But this is a great. This is a TC Electronics Plethora X5 effect unit where you can have 5 pedals, and it's the same as their hardware pedals that you can buy. And I used to have this tap tremolo pedal, but I got rid of all the pedals and just have this effector unit. Now we'll do the same thing but with 2 other guitars. I hope you'll bear with me now. So one thing to mention when it comes to switching guitars, changing what you're doing with them and all that, it's a matter of which kind of pickup you're using. On my acoustic guitar, I have Seymour Duncan Mag Mic 6S or something. I have that in, I think, 4 or 5 of my guitars. I just love that pickup, and it's got a little condenser microphone underneath the body, which means that you can also add a little bit of this acoustic sound. So I'm kind of combining those two, but basically that pickup is made for an acoustic guitar to sound as acoustic as it can be. So whatever I put in between that and amplifier or a PA system means that, yeah, it's going to be great, but it's going to be a little bit kind of artificial. It's not meant to do that. On the other hand, on this guitar, this is a Chandler lipstick pickup here, as you can see, and this is a pickup from the 80s, and it was used in electric guitars. You can see it in Telecasters, Stratocasters. People put them on their lap steels and everything. This is a great pickup for that. So now without the pedal, this is what we got. We'll need to, no reverb, no tremolo, nothing. And this pickup has got a little bit less of the output, so I'll increase the volume a little bit. It does have a very clean sound. Of course, it's not kind of some electric pickups do have a little bit of a rougher sound from the beginning, whatever you play it through. So that's that, and this is quite bassy from the start. So if I just use the same settings like on the other guitar, see how much of the bass it just lost. This is without the pedal. Let's see if we can use one of the controls. Now it's a bit more bass, and then I would add a bit more here on the control. Hey, what's happening with that little camera over there? Why aren't you playing with me, baby? One of my cameras just died for some reason. Coming back? Yes, it's coming back. Just like with computers, just restart the thing. It's gonna be great. So song by Sam Mitchell, my dear friend. Yeah. So this brings already this kind of, I gotta play something rougher with this. But let's do the same lick, but now in D. This was with the pedal, now without. It does add to it really nicely. So let's do the, with the pedal, I would maybe give it a little bit notch of volume here, and then I would engage the treble and the tremolo, and let's go to that. One thing, you've heard this little pop-up when the sound really distorted too much. Adding both reverb and tremolo and then playing a little bit harder with my fingers, it just added this distortion. So if I would just lower the volume on the channel of that guitar and play it really hard, you see, it's really kind of breaking it down there. So in these situations, I'd need to play softer. I like it. Like it. Sounds nice. So, and now we're going to try the third guitar, and the time is just flying. Maybe we won't even be able to talk about this JamitFX, but yeah, I'll try. All right, being a true professional, I only have two functional guitar cables, guitar straps, so I'll do it this way. All right, this is an open G, this guitar, and it's got a lot of output. All the controls are fully out, both. This is an old pickup, old guitar, and it's got, how can I do this? Give me a second. So I think I'll manage something like that. Yay! You see, that pickup is just killing it. It's so sensitive. So I need to do everything here for a minute. Just without a pedal, anything, the input gain needs to be lowered because this signal coming from this guitar is really, really tough. So we're going down and see what happens. There somewhere. So this should be just a natural signal. Yeah. And this pickup's got really kind of mid-range signal, so always when I play it through an amplifier, and this guitar really sounds best through an amplifier, then you mic it up or line out to the PA system. And it's very mid-range, so I need to add a lot of basses. So if we just do the same thing as we did with these two other guitars, so I need to lower the gain even more, almost nothing. I would add a little bit of basses. No, not level. The basses. recording because it just brings me, you know, into this inspirational mood. Because if I just play without this pedal, yeah. I don't know. I just love that distorted sound. Basically, I would go even more with the basses, as you can see here, totally fully out. Trebles are great. And there's this little thing when you play live and we try to control trebles. If you put this control a little bit higher than you would want those trebles to be, then you have a little bit of headroom. So when you want to emphasize the trebles, all you need to do is just pick a little bit harder with your picking hand. And while you're playing, it's distinct, it's very, very subtle difference between playing softly and kind of digging a little bit more, but that's what you can do with these with the treble control, right? And maybe I can just not too much difference in these two, but maybe because this pickup is an old 50s pickup that's got the same, you know, characteristics or whatever. But if I add the tremolo, let's see how that works there. Oh, David, I miss you here. You would play some great piano on this one. That's great. But yeah, guys, that's it. That's this crazy pedal that I've got. This wonderful God Blues from Slovenia. And I really loved working with Jan, the guy who owns JamitFX, and I'll give you their address on Facebook, actually. So you can open that in another web browser tab, because it's let me see where I was. There was I. Because we built, like, you know, 3 things together. This was a kind of stock model that he usually does, the overdrive pedal, but the phase boost was kind of according to my specifications, and definitely with this little crazy guy. It's a fat cat, you know. My nickname Matsan in Serbian language means, you know, kind of mean cat, like wow. So we got that on this one. So yeah, it's cool, and I really love supporting creative people who do things with the music, and I just thought it was a great cooperation. I love Jan and their work, and just like give them a thumbs up, say hi from me if you go there. So what else? As usual, I was planning too much, and I just couldn't do all of it today. So now it's between. Should I just show you this little bit of a everyday carry, every gig carry, which takes only a minute or 2? I think it's better that, and then we save this about the summer jams for the summer, for the real summer, because from today there are going to be 2 Mondays without a live stream, because I'm traveling to UK. Just a vacation. I'm gonna visiting my musician daughter and their friends, and me and my wife. She's gonna have some great fun. We're taking the train all the way to London and back. It's gonna be amazing. So the first next live stream is gonna be on July 10th, right? And then we're gonna be talking about this with summer inspiration for the guitar, how to play, how to jam, how to develop your skills when you have a little bit more time when you're on vacation and all that. So let's do this now. Right, so today, just very briefly, my everyday carry, and this is something that I'm actually establishing a little cooperation with Alpaca Bag Company from Australia, and they are just great. I mean, I've already kind of bought like 4 of their pouches, bags, and I've shown you a couple of those. But now this is a sling bag, quite big. If you look on the screen here, if I go to like this, then you'll be able to see the measurement of the bag, right? So it's this big compared to my body, right? But the great thing is that this thing can just take so much stuff that it's incredible. So here we go. That's the bag, and this is what I took with me on a gig this past Tuesday or Wednesday, I forgot. And that was my trusty and new rediscovered effect unit, Boss MS3. A little preamp goes before that. Spare strings, accessories, whatever I need, some tools, computer, or the iPad. Actually, I ended up taking only the iPad with me, but for the sake of the demonstration and to show you how this thing is compared size-wise to the stuff that you're kind of planning to take with you, it's great that you can just take everything in one bag, put it on your shoulder, on your back, or in front of you as a sling bag, and just off you go. Just take your guitars, which means you can take this, 2 guitars, and off you go. This is how thick it is when it's full. That's around 20 centimeters. What's that, kind of 9 inches or something? And this is how it looks when it's packed. And for the sake of this live stream, I just took a picture with a computer inside, and that's a 13-inch MacBook Air. So you can put, I think it would easily fit a 14-inch computer. And there are places inside the bag where you can also have the iPad, but I'm really making it so that I wanted to fill it with stuff. This is my kind of power bank, kazoo, string winder. There is the Boss effector unit. These are spare strings, spare capo, stuff around here. This is from the back. So this is in the front, and then in the back there is this big pocket for my 2 guitar cables and the preamp. And there is also this little pocket all the way behind where you can, put your wallet, your, I don't know, passport if you're traveling, some papers, even a Kindle will fit there, or iPad mini. It's really great. Spacious, perfect, amazing bag. I love it. And actually, I'm going to be establishing a kind of cooperation with Alpaca, which means that I'll be posting some sponsored content on my Instagram, maybe even on YouTube. On some other occasions, because I really want to show how I'm really kind of obsessed by having a bag that's actually just meant for being a bag for an everyday user, everyday carry when you're traveling stuff. But I've found some great ways to just put all my music accessories, stuff that I'll need with me for different occasions, and I just love having a couple of bags around me. So, okay, which one I'm supposed to take with me today or tomorrow or next week or something. So it's like I know it's nerdery, I'm nerdy, but that's the way it is. All right, let's see what you guys are saying. Thank you for the link. Yeah, sure, David, my pleasure. With your 12-string guitar from Belveria, I've never heard of that brand. It's been over 30 years since it's been really tuned and retooled. Any recommendation from the peanut gallery? Oh, man. For the 12-string guitar, the most important thing is that you check if the neck is straight. And you cannot do that before you put the strings on. And when they, get to the tension of just a tuned up guitar, 12-string, regular, put light strings on. Invest in a light set of strings. That means that from point 10 and up to maybe, I don't know, 47, 49, 50 on the basses, and all those accompanying strings accordingly, and just tune up and see what happens. Check, as I showed you guys before, there's this little thing that when you have a guitar like this and you press on the 12th fret, I usually do it with my kind of index finger here, no, sorry, with my thumb on the 12th fret. Then I press on the 1st fret, right? And then I look from the side and press with my index on the 5th fret. And there, just right there, you would need less than a half a millimeter of space. So the neck needs to be just a little bit, slightly bowed. Should not be warped and should not be totally straight, because you're gonna get string buzz as soon as you start playing, especially with a 12-string guitar that's ringing all over the place. You need to either have a little bit higher string action, or just to make that it's really bowed. So up to a millimeter is okay, I think. Now we're talking mostly professional setups, and it depends. If you're gonna play it with a pick and play, you know, the brushed big boomy chords on a 12 string, then you can have a little bit higher action, and basically people would grab those main chord shapes on the first 2, 3, 4, 5 frets, right? And you can get by with that. But otherwise, my own setup for the 12 string, when I had one functional, which I don't have anymore, but maybe I'll prepare it for one of the live streams, and just to show you guys how that looks and sounds. I kind of doubled the first 4 strings. So 2 E strings, 2 B, 2 G, 2 Ds. And then I would just double with the octaves for the 5th and the 6th string. That's because I was playing fingerstyle and I was playing slide and I was playing with the pickups and all that. I kept my string action fairly, very low, and I could play very, very softly with my picking hand. Otherwise, I always thought that these accompanying strings that are kind of octave higher than the strings below them, that they are a bit too thin. Like a G string is usually accompanied by a very, very thick thin string with a, you know, low gauge. I would put it a little bit higher, or just a little bit tougher, stiffer than usual strings that are accompanying. But start with this, with 10s, and just tune up and see what happens. Then check your tuning pegs. If they are you know, clicking, everything's going smoothly, that's nice, because sometimes they can be lubricated a little bit. Just make sure that the screws on the back are tightened on your 12 string. Just make sure that they're not moving. There's on, okay, not on this guitar, but usually on the guitars that have this kind of tuning pegs, there's a little kind of screw up here that can sometimes loosen, and then these tuning pegs are kind of moving a millimeter or two to make sure that they're, you know, sitting tight. And that's my advice when it comes to the 12 strings that haven't been played for ages, right? Just, yeah, take it easy and let me know how it goes. We have lots of, you know, interactions, you and I, Albert, on David's streams, and you can always hit me up. That's great. All right, guys, thanks so much for coming. I'm going to press my button that says, I'm sitting on top of the world, everything is fine. And yeah, the world is not really a happy place, but it's okay. So I feel good playing for you guys and just having these Monday live streams. I think it's extremely fun and lots of joy. Let me see if I've missed anything in the chat. Doesn't look like that. Oh, do you ever use a slide with a bass guitar? Inquiring minds want to know. I've tried. Of course I had to try to play slide on every guitar on bass. I even tried it on the big bass, upright bass. Yeah, I found this socket wrench, really thick one like this, and I just kept it like this with my hand, and I tried to glide with that. Didn't sound good. No, not really. And there's also this thing with playing slide on a nylon string guitar. I have a friend in Germany who's going to be a guest on my live stream when we kind of connect so that both schedules are not colliding all the time, because he's traveling and teaching and doing lots of stuff, and not every Monday he can come. So Kosho from Germany, from Berlin, and he played slide on a nylon string guitar. Very nice, very smooth, and it's a specialty, but it's possible. That's it. All right, guys, I'll see you not next Monday, not the one after that, but on July 10th. You're more than welcome. Have a great summer so far. Love you guys, and cheers.
It was in spring, one sunny day, my sweetheart left me, Lord, she went away. Now she's gone, and I don't worry, but I'm sitting on top of the world. Things could call me up, down and out by soul. Said, come back, Daddy, Lord, I need you so. Now she's gone, and I don't worry, 'cause I'm sitting on top of the world. Like my peaches, don't you shake my tree. Get out of my orchard, let my peaches be. Now she's gone, I don't worry, but I'm sitting on top of the world. In spring, one sunny day, my sweetheart left me, now she went away. Now she's gone, and I don't worry, but I'm sitting on top of the world. Now she's gone, and I don't worry,